The only way I would endorse a voter registration class is if it was done at the state level. Thank you.
Thank you. John?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I don't agree with any type of a class or curriculum, like Rusty said. That's kind of preposterous. If anything, I believe our citizens are learning more and more. They're more educated, well learned, and they're really doing a good job in studying people, candidates, and issues. That's why they're frustrated. Their trust level is really low because they're not getting heard from their representatives. And you know, the local schools and local school boards want to have a Constitution class. That's good. That's fine. I think it's very important. Be part of understand our origin in America. But as far as just getting people to vote, to me that's a big issue. And if there's a carrot involved or a way to get the younger people and everybody to vote, I'd like to see 80 to 100% voters. Then we know we had a true majority of the people vote and make a decision. And like I said, I trust in their ability to learn and study the candidates and their wisdom. They're a lot wiser than they were in the early 1800s. It was just a matter of survival. Most of the people, I trust their votes. I just want them to vote. And if we had any way to get a carrot in there, I like the idea of mail-in ballots. Even if we could even do more like that to get more people to vote and get the true representation of the public. To me, that's the biggest issue.
Thank you. Tom?
That's a really great question. Federal mandate requiring people to learn about the candidacy or voter registration prior to that probably violates the 6-year Voters' Rights Act. Also probably violates the 9th and 10th Amendment. But what we can do in high school is to encourage a class that will provide them with college credit. Okay, study the Constitution, study the issues, get up to date, read Milton Friedman, read the Federalist Papers, things like that. Those things can be encouraged and offered college credit if you have a by college. So I would strongly encourage a voluntary involvement. Citizenship requires you to be involved, to be actively involved in government. Otherwise, a few percent of the country runs the country. Iraq, the first election, I witnessed a bombing in the police barracks a couple days before their big national referendum. 600 policemen were killed. The next day, there were 600 people that were waiting for them. They were threatened their lives, and they came out with 80-some% voter turnout. I was ashamed. Ashamed as the results are even half that. Deconstructing the budget, prioritizing, like Joe said, must be done. We fail at active management of the largest economy in the world. We can do better. The apathy must be shook out of the public. Volunteerism and credits. Do it. And if you're not in college, I'm sure we can address that also. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Our next question is, Thomas Jefferson thought corporate power was a fundamental threat to our democracy. What kind of campaign reform do you support in light of the recent court decision allowing unlimited corporate campaign donations? And we're going to go back to Paul to begin.
Well, I think that there's been unfairness all the way across the board when you had an ununiform application allowing labor unions to flex their might and not allow the enterprise marketplace of small business and large businesses to actually inflect theirs. We have a problem, and it's been exercised all the way across. I think we have to restrict all of them if we're going to do anything. And it has to be uniform across the board. Unions the same way as corporate entities. But in the same regard, we have to allow them to have a voice in the decision process. It's a fine line. So right now, I'm happy to see the capitalistic aspect of Citizens United winning at the Supreme Court level. Because at least what it's doing is it's leveling the playing field that so long has not been leveled. Thank you.
Thank you. Joe?
Thomas Jefferson also said government closest to the people works the best, or more or less somewhere along those lines. And I'd actually have to concur with Dr. Gosar that you cannot separate corporate America from the labor unions. Labor unions are